Abhimanyu Resa, our casting director, he called me for an audition. I saw the audition. I had no hopes from it because I was like, this is too big. There is no way this can happen. Even Ram sir will tell you the same thing, that this series is not made as a period show. Uh, it is
Yes.
it is about that period, but it is so that you become a part of that period. It shouldn't look different. It is meant to, you know, uh, feel like you are in that present rather than being in the past. The viewer kind of being immersed in that period as almost the present. It's conversation. It's what we're doing right now. It's life, and that's what Ramsay aspires to capture.
Thank you so much for taking out the time today to speak to Masala.
No, thank you so much for having me.
Perfect. So let's dive right in.
Yeah.
The Making of a Nation. The trailer already has intrigued so many of us. Let's start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
I just spoke to the director of the show, Ram Madhwani, and he mentioned that there was an extensive casting process and audition process through which all four central characters got in. So can you just talk
Yeah.
to us about how the process began, how it went through, and how you backed the role?
No, I mean, it's a very systematic audition process. It's a rigorous audition process, which is basically Abhimanyu Resa, our casting director, he called me for an audition. I saw the audition. I had no hopes from it because I was like, this is too big. There is no way this can happen. Um, but I kept getting called back, for a second round, third round, fourth round, and it went from there. And then finally, I was on board. I couldn't believe it, and then I realized that the real, work starts then, and not like, you know, uh, the audition was just like a step, just one little step. And then, of course, we had extensive rehearsals, workshops for months, to get into kind of the skin of it, actually just get comfortable with it. Uh, uh, Pooja Swaroop, Sheena Khalid, Atul Mongia, all of them helped me a lot. I had a lot of help through it. I had a lot of help throughout the whole thing. Um, and then slowly we kind of got ready for shoot, and
Yeah.
even through shoot we were workshopping, so it was an extensive kind of situation where, I mean, because when we reached the set, it was like Ramsa was like, I don't want you to ask me a single thing on set. I want you to be ready. So that's what we tried to do.
Perfect. I mean, that sounds intense, but also that must have been a great experience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
Perfect. So
amazing.
now,
Actually, it's been the biggest learning of my life, this shoot. Just
hmm,
on how much you can kind of dive into something. So yeah.
enough. Whenever any actor would approach a role where you're playing someone who uh, is from 100 years ago or more, so
Mm.
naturally that comes with a lot of challenges. Apart from, say, some obvious physical, perhaps in terms of your look or in terms of the way you look or appear, how did you approach that aspect of your role where you have to get into the mind of someone who lived over a century ago?
See, even Ram sir will tell you the same thing, that this series is not made as a period show. Uh, it is
Yes.
it is about that period, but it is so that you become a part of that period. It shouldn't look different. It is meant to, you know, uh, feel like you are in that present rather than being in the past. Um, there was no overly dramatic formality in talking. I mean, I know when we show history everywhere, and
Yeah.
we show period things everywhere. Everything has to like sound like uh, सब कुछ एक ऐलान होता है, सब कुछ एक
As
formality
in,
statement, but
yes.
that's not, I don't, it's not really, it doesn't really have to be like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure people didn't talk like that all the time. I'm pretty sure we made that up. um, But yeah, no, this is just like it's a it's a take on, the viewer kind of being immersed in that period as almost the present. It's conversation. It's what we're doing right now. It's life, and that's what Ramsay aspires to capture. The way he shoots, also his system of shooting is very different. It's called System 360, where we kind of shoot longer sequences, real time, and slowly and steadily you kind of immerse yourself in that, and you forget that you are playing a part, or you forget that you are acting, and that's when you can capture life. And that is what is the magic of that man. That is what he captures. So it doesn't feel like we're actually like playing dress up and doing something.
Mhm.
you know
Absolutely. And
it,
also, I'm sorry. Yeah, please complete
yeah,
your thought.
no, that's it. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So now, in this, usually when you think of a film that is set in this era, it's about a character or a journey or a story. And but
Yeah,
here, it's essentially four friends who are four underdogs who are uncovering something rather scary and rather dramatic. So
yeah.
now we hear actors say all the time about working with other actors and reacting to them. But this again, this must have been an experience in itself working with three other young actors who are all where you play four young men trying to do something astonishing.
Yeah, I mean, see, thankfully, when you're in a system like this, when you're all on the same page, working towards a common goal, there is no room for an individual uh, to kind of, you know, take up his own aspirations or goals or, milestones. We are all working towards something collectively, and that comes from the top. It comes from Ramsar. And once that happens, the experience, with your co-actors, with everyone, because you realize that every single person is, I mean, everyone from the crew to the everyone is on a common goal. There is not a single person on that set who doesn't know what's going on. It's not like other sets. It's not like that need to know basis kind of situation that happens on other sets. Every single person on that set knows exactly what is going on, why it is happening, when it is going to happen. um so that synergy of sorts just kind of comes through. So even like working with the co-actors becomes easier. Everything becomes easier. I had the wonderful fortune of working with Sahil, Bashir, Nikita, and we got along very well. We became friends very quickly. We were in the workshops together. That's why we met each other for the first time. And yeah, it was, at least that part of it, the relationship building is very seamless. And that comes from how the culture of uh, you know uh, the things that are done at RMF are.
Absolutely. And also, is there at any point response, because largely perhaps this would be with the writer or the director of the show, but when you are the face of something that is a chapter in history that is so painful for so many of us because
Yeah,
of all the events in the lead up to our independence. Jallianwala Bagh is perhaps one of the most painful memories any of us have from that period. So
definitely.
now you are in many ways lending yourself to tell a story about that time. So do you at any point feel that at all you have to perhaps be the voice and the face for this pain and what that does to your performance?
I mean, this, see, essentially, I'm a vessel of a message, right? Um, I mean, of course, it is me who's doing all the talking and doing the things, but the series is truly an ode to the people who lost their lives. It's about them.
Absolutely.
It's about what we went through. Not about the person who's talking. It's the main focus is that why that happened. See, we all know about the massacre and that it happened. We are trying to tell you about the conspiracy of why it happened. So it's not actually about me being the voice of it or not. Because the focus of it is about them. and how they weren't kind of they didn't deserve what happened to them. So
Exactly. Because perhaps I didn't frame this question too well. I'm sorry. So what I meant was, let's say, lending your voice to someone contemporary who is perhaps a normal young man versus lending your voice to someone where you are aware of the fact that this is an ode to people who lost their lives tragically. Does that change the way you approach these two roles?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand it. I
So
couldn't hear you well.
essentially, if you are playing someone just not a contemporary, like say your character is mismatched versus a character like this, now in terms of your preparation and your process, of course you've done these things, but when you get into the head of this character, is there anything else you have to do to do justice to this role?
There is always different things for every different character. Uh, just because a character is contemporary doesn't mean it's easy. Just
Of
because it's
course.
period doesn't mean it's easy. In Mismatched, I'm on a wheelchair. In
Absolutely.
I'm from 105 years ago. It's every you have to kind of put in the same amount or more effort. It's the thing is there is no limit to the effort you can put in. There is no limit. It's you have to be honest and true to every character you do. If you want to do it well, if you don't want to do it well, you can also not. I mean, it's a choice. But it's every character has an infinite amount of work that can be done to it. I mean, there is a very long distance between playing something and being something. I
Absolutely.
mean, no matter how hard I try to convince myself that I am this person, truly to become it is not reality, right? I mean, so it's just about how much you can uh, push mentally to kind of get into that reality and how
But
far you
does
can.
this Absolutely. But does this affect you at all? Because you are, even if you're not being the person, you are reliving a very painful time. So does that weigh on you as well as a person even after you leave the set?
Of course, I think. See, I think every character you play. I mean, every character I at least play, I get personally attached to. Um, I feel like if you don't do that, then you don't feel for him. You don't feel for the character that you're playing, whether it's good, bad, ugly, amazing, whatever it is. You have to have a sense of attachment and empathy for your own character. uh, only then it feels like a sense of self, e- be it an alternate self. But it does of course affect you. It really affects you. Something like especially when you deep dive into something so much, it is when you get out of it, it's quite disorienting. It's actually quite difficult. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's true for every character.
Absolutely. Well, Taruk, I hope I had a lot more time to actually dive a little deeper into this and your other work. But yeah, can't wait to watch the entire show. And thank you so much for your time today, Taruk.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you for
me.
your time. Thank you, Taruk.